So the next one is working with what? Map layers, right? Working with map layers. Before I go to working with map layers, last class I talked about something called coordinate reference system. Did you remember that?
Yes.
Coordinate reference system. For every layer you are bringing into your Arcmap, it must have what? A coordinates reference system, CRS, which can either be what? Geographical or what? Projected. Did you remember that? If you want to check that, this is your layer. It's under your table of contents. Did you get that?
Yes.
This is your layer under your table of contents. Right click and what? Yeah, that's how to add your layer. But adding the layer, you have to know the coordinate system for that area you want to work with. You have, I told you, if you're working with an Arcmap, you have to do the settings just like you have in AutoCAD. You join, then you set true north, whatever, blah blah blah, meters and whatever. So in this environment also, you need to set the coordinate system at which you're working. Did you get that? So how do you do that? When you right click on your layer, you go to the properties. The properties. So once you click on the properties, you can see the coordinate system tab. Did you see that now?
Yes.
These are all favorites I've worked with. So you won't have this favorite on your own side then. If you open it on your new Arcmap document, you won't have this favorite. So you're going to have what? Geographical and what? And projected. But let's assume that the layer I have with me is the entire Nigeria. So who can tell me the coordinate system for that? 32 and 33. So for this type of task, what coordinate geographical, sorry, I already told you the answer. I want to say which type of coordinate system are you going to use? We're going to use what? Geographical. Because it comprises of what? The zone 31, 32, and 33. Did you get that now? So now, so you check on this plus and then expand. If it's projected coordinate, that means you're working, let's say you are working on Osun now. Did you get my point? If you're working with respect to Osun State, you know that it's just a single zone, 31 north. So you just go to what? Projected. And then you look for that particular coordinate zone. Did you get my point now? But let's assume I'm working for the entire Africa. You don't have to put out a projected zone. It's geographical because it deals with many zones. Did you get my point now? So it's very simple. So now you click on the projected and then you navigate to the word and then you see WGS 984. Did you get that? So once you click on that, right click, you notice that I don't have it add to favorite because I already have it saved already. But if you don't have the favorite at the top, then this will be active. Did you get my point now? So you just click that and then you have it saved under my favorite already, so I don't have to disturb myself. I can check this back and then click on my favorite and then see this is it. Did you see that now? This is WGS 984. So once you click that, I believe you can see that. So this is 984 now. So once you click on the 984 and then you click OK. So the coordinate reference system of this drawing has been what? Has been set up. Now you can now work with what? Map layers. Did you get my point now? Because if you're working with map layers without defining the coordinate system of all those things, it's just be like unknown reference system. Did you get my point now? So you don't have reference system defined. So the first thing you do is you set your reference system pertaining to where you're working with. Did you get that? Yes. So now, I explained something the other time that there are different links you can download GIS data from. You can go to your Diva GIS is not working anymore. You can go to your GeoFabrics. You can go to OpenStreetMaps and many open sources where you can get your GIS data. Did you get that? So it's very simple. It's not hard. And then with that, once you get those data, then we can now work with what? Our map layers. Are you with me? Now let me give you an example of how you can download that. So let's just open your Chrome. I'm trying to connect to my internet here. If the MTN is not working like a mad, whatever. me log into my Gmail account. So here you can navigate to GeoFabrics. I don't know, my internet is not connecting. That's why it should automatically recognize the link straight away. I don't know what is wrong with internet. Okay, right, thank God. As I'm typing, it should be showing. You get my point, sir? You can see that. .d, yeah. But once you click on GeoFabrics, just search for GeoFabrics. Let me just search for GeoFabrics. So once you search for GeoFabrics, I don't want it to load the one I have already. I just want to like you working from start. So pending the time that one is loading, I'm going to explain not to waste our time. Now, this is your layer, right? You want to work with map layers, right? There are different ways you can add up your data. Did you get my point? Yes. The different ways you can add your data. Is either you right click here on this layer, click on add data. Are you good? Yes. That's the first step. That's the first step. The first method rather. Or you come to this icon up and do what? Did you see that? That's another option. Or you come to your catalog and you drag any layer, any feature layer you have. You can see I have different rasters and whatever. Did you get my point now? You can drag to your map. Just left click and drag. Did you get my point? Yes. So these are how to add data. Another method is you can go to your file and then see add what? Add data. Did you get my point now? So depending on your choice and any best method of your own choice, you can just add your data anyhow. Did you get my point now? Yes. So now I already have the boundary of Nigeria with respect to the state and local governments with me. Did you get my point? So to do this, you just, like I told you, there are different ways you can add your data, right? But I always prefer going from my catalog. You can imagine that immediately I save these stats, I save this drawing as stats. The folder you save it to will be authorized in your, it will be signed to your catalog. Did you get my point? Yes. Because at first, if you don't save anything, you won't have any folder connection under your catalog. Did you get what I'm trying to say? So once you save to the folder where you're working, it will authorize that particular folder as that is where you are working. So every file you are saving, downloading will be within that folder. Did you get my point? So then you can now drag from that folder to your map. Did you get my point, sir? Now, you click on the what? The catalog, the plus, expand this, because this is the folder I'm working with, right? Now, I want to use OAU. Okay, I didn't have Nigeria here. Let me just try to navigate to where I have Nigeria. So I want to navigate to where I have Nigeria. So let's solve it for that is where I save my own. You'll see what I'm saying now. Nigerian data. You see this? Like I've organized my own file. Did you get my point, sir? Yes. then I have OSM Nigerian boundary. And now, you can see the Nigerian admin 0, admin 1, admin 2. Your admin 0 corresponds to your entire Nigeria. I'm going to add everything up so you can see. You can see this. This is the shapefile. How good?
Yes.
You left click and what? You hold your left click and you do what? You drag to the map. You can see another the way I add my own data.
Yes.
You can go to your layer and do what? Add data. And then navigate to that folder. Did you see that it's like same thing?
Yes.
Survey file and then Nigerian data. Did you see that?
Yes.
OSM admin 1. Did you see this?
Yes.
Click on the shapefile and then click on add. You see that? It has been added. Now, let me add the local government. Let me use this. Did you get my point? I'm trying to use different methods, so depending on your choice, you can just go ahead and pick any one of your choice. So admin 2, admin 2, admin 2, and then click on the polygon and do what? You had. These are the local governments in Nigeria. Did you get that?
Yes.
So, now, how do you renaming your feature layer? You know, we added this in our map, and then we noticed that the name it has doesn't really suit what I want. How do you rename this part, like this particular feature layer? Is either you double click on them, or you right click, go to the properties. Either of the two. If you double click, automatically it goes straight to properties. If you right click, the same time, you can see now layer properties. I just double click, right? Or you right click and go to what? Properties. So you can see it's like the same thing. Did you see that now? So now do you now rename? Just click on general. Did you get that? General, and then you label as what? Admin 2 corresponds to what? Local governments. Did you get that? So then you click what? Okay, you can see it has been changed. Did you get that? Now you double click this. The admin 1 corresponds to what? States. Did you get that now? So you go to general and do what? You rename to what? States. And then you have the admin 0, double click on this, and then you rename it to what? Nigeria. Did you get my point, sir? Did you get it now? Good. I taught how you can add your data, how to rename data, the feature layer, the data you're adding up. And at the same time, there's something called layer order. Layer ordering. Hierarchy of your layer. Did you get my point? Now, you can see I have local governments, states, and Nigeria. I can rearrange this thing. If you're rearranging all this layer based on what you want, it's all called layer ordering. Did you get my point? It's called layer what? Ordering. So if I left click on this Nigeria, hold your left click. Like scroll it up or shift it up. Did you see that?
Yes.
That's layer ordering. I have Nigeria to be the first. You can see the map is covering the local government. Whatever you have to be the highest here will be the one to display on the map. Did you get that now?
Yes.
So it's not something that's very hard. Now, you notice that local governments should be under state, right?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to click this and then drag what? Drag down. You can see I have Nigerian states and what? The local governments. Did you get my points now? Local governments. Did you get that? Now, I noticed that looking at this map, I have some maps that are under this Nigeria map, right? I have some layers that are under this Nigeria layer, right? But I want to see everything at a glance. What do? You have to symbolize. That's where symbology comes in. Navigating in a map document, we're already navigating already. Navigating means you are strolling in, strolling out, zoom in, zoom out. Did you get my point? That's navigation. Did you get my point, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is what like navigating, pan. You get my point? Zoom in. The zoom in here on your mouse. If you are zooming in on your mouse, it's zooming out. This environment is different. Did you get my point? If If you're zooming in, you're zooming out. If you're zooming out, you're zooming in. You see that? Yeah. Yeah. It's zooming out. Yeah. Let's assume that my map is very far away, and I'm trying to like zoom in to this map. You get my point? You can right click on that particular map and what? Zoom to what? Layer. Did you get that? So these are navigating through what? Your map documents. That is navigating through what? Your map documents. Debo note today. This is 10:45. Alright, so now this is the Nigerian map. Now I said something that I want to see the states, right?
Yes.
At a glance. Now the symbol for this Nigeria is what? When I told you something, you can represent your spatial data in 3 forms. What? Point, line, and what? Polygon. Do you remember last class?
Yes.
Point, what? Line, and polygon. This is an example of what? This is what? Polygon. This is polygon. This is not line. This is polygon. Anyway, you see rectangle, circle, triangle, they are what? Polygons. More than what? 2 sides. Enclosed. Railways, roads, and lines. Streets, rivers, streams, and whatever. They are lines. Did you get that? Points includes what? Utilities like maybe well, dams, electric poles, drainage or station, like that. Did you get my point now? Your buildings are what? Polygons. Did you get what I'm trying to say now? So that is all about that. Now, you click on the feature type, like the feature type of Nigeria, which is what? Polygon, right? It's a polygon feature type. Now, you see there are different design, that you can symbolize. That's symbol selector. Did you get what I'm trying to say now?
Yes.
There are different symbols you can apply here. Now, let me use allo and then click OK. Did you notice something? Something just changed.
Yes.
Allo means you don't want anything to be filled. You want it transparent.
Yeah.
Now, let me uncheck the states and the local governments. Did you see this? Did you see that now?
Yes.
So this is map of Nigeria, but I don't want any color to be filled within that polygon. That is allo. Did you get my point now?
Yes.
Now, double click on this polygon again, double click on it. You have your symbol selector. You can see the outline colors. You can change it to what? Red. Your boundary should be in what? Red. Cartography colors. You remember that?
Yes.
You remember that in your cartography?
Yes.
Now, your outline width, you can change it to anything of your choice. You can make it 3. Just like to show its thick. The thickness, yeah, you're right. Now, you can see the fill color is no. We don't have any color. No color. You see that? No color. So that's the function of the hollow. Did you get that now?
Yes.
It doesn't have anything filled. You can see green. It's filled with what? Green. Blue filled with what? Blue. Sun with yellow. Did you get my point now? So we are picking allo. So we don't want anything in the air. And then outline to be what? 3. And then you click what? Okay. You see that?
Yes.
I don't know what I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, we're done with that of Nigeria. Now, you can, let me see what is again. Measuring distance, I'm coming with that. Selecting picture, okay, I'm coming with all these things. Now, you can see, if I ask you to toggle on a layer, what do? You just check that box at the front of that layer. When I say toggle on, toggle off. Toggle on, toggle on, toggle. Did you get my point now?
Yes.
Now, I noticed that the local government are not showing. The state is covering it, right? Because the state is what? Is filled with colors, with light, is it purple, right? Yeah. Now, I have to make it what? Allo, change it to what? Red, maybe faint red, and then increase the thickness to maybe like 2, right? Did you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
And then click OK. You can see the states. So you can see the local government underneath. Did you see that now? So it's you can see it's very interesting. Now, the local government now, this doesn't make sense because it looks very like jargons to me. So now, Let's repeat the same process for the local government also. Now click on the local government, make it hollow, and then make the red more faint, and then you can make it to be 1. Did you get my point now? Then click OK. You can see it makes sense this way. Did you get my point now?
Yes.
So you all have your states where you come from, right? So you can see your state now. You can see that? So you can see your states, you can see your country, you can see the local government, how many local governments are in your... You get my point now? So all those things are what you can do as a surveyor or geospatial analyst. Now, you already do that. You do that. And the next one is you want to measure your distance, right?
Yes.
Now, measuring distance is very simple here. Design an icon for that. Did you see this?
Yes.
Measure. Did you see that?
Yes.
I believe you can see that, right?
Yes.
Now click on the measure. You have an icon where you can measure, right? Now, I want to measure a point from Oyo State to maybe Adamawa. This is Adamawa here. I want to check I just want to have an approximate view of the total distance. Did you get my point now?
Yes.
On a straight transect. Just a straight line. Now, you can see to measure a distance, you draw what? A line. To measure an area, click on the measure an area, then draw a what? A polygon. To measure a feature, click measure a feature, then click what? A feature. You didn't get my point.
Yes.
This is line. This is what? Area. This is what? Feature. You didn't get that? Did you understand my point?
Yes.
Now, this is still a line, right? Now, maybe a point here. Did you see that? I left click. Then stray your mouse maybe to a particular point here in Adamawa and leave it there. You can see the distance. Is what? The distance is what? Length is what? 968. Sorry. Make sure your mouse is on the what? End point. Did you get that now?
Yes, sir.
What is the distance? The distance is what? 968 point maybe 3 zeros 58, something like that. But you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Did you get that now? So it's not something that is very hard. Now, escape. Escape on your keyboard.
Yes.
ESC. It will go. Did you get my point now? Let me measure maybe from Lagos here to maybe Bono. Make sure you have it on the end point. Sorry, escape. I don't want it to be on any vertex. I want it on a plane. Yep, that's what I want. Did you get what I'm trying to do now? Did you see the distance? The length is what? It's around 1,300.577 kilometers. Did you get what I'm trying to say now?
Yes, sir.
So that is how you can just have an idea of the distance. Did you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
So you can use this method for any area of your choice. So if you have maybe a plot of land or whatever or coordinates you bring in, you can use this to measure the distance without going to sites.
Like what they did in
The first day on the Google Earth, bro. You get that? You get that? That's what we did on the Google Earth, bro, the other day. You remember? So now, escape. Now, let's measure an area. Yeah, good. This is an area. Our area is not active here. What's happening? This is where you can change the words, the distance units. whether it is in feet, miles, or whatever the choice, and then the area to be what, kilometer square and blah 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 like that. So this is how you can measure what, distances. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
So we're done with that. How good to go?
Yes, sir.
Now, working with what? Feature attributes. You know, in your Arcmap, we have attributes. What are attributes? You know, I told you something like attribute the last class. Attributes are what? When you have a road, what are the attributes of that road? That is the non-spatial information, the non-spatial data. Your road names, the type of the road. Is it express? Is it hard? Is it... Did you get what I'm trying to say? Is it two-way? Is it one-way? 3 ways or 5 lanes? Did you get what I'm trying to say? The attributes, that is the information. What is your attribute? You put on face cap. Did you get my point? You're wearing a shoe, you're wearing a trouser, a black trouser. Did you get my point now? You're putting on a traditional cap. Did you get my point now? So these are the attributes of Gideon or your friends and stuff like that. So whatever information that a particular entity is made of is what your attribute is all about. Are you with me now? The table. What is the attribute of this table? Is it off white, whatever, brown, 4 legs? Did you get my point? Just like characteristics of a cat. Just too high, too hair. What are the information pertaining to that thing? Did you get my point? What are the attributes of our faculty? We have what? Different departments, 7 departments. Attribute of each department. We have students, right? From each student, I have my address, I have my home, where I stay, my age. Did you get my point? These are the attributes pertaining to information, like entity. Now, you'll be imagining that this icon has not changed, right? Because we click on the measure distance the other time, right? Now, if you want to change it, I just click on this and pan. You have it back to normal. Did you get that? So everything you have here is what we use in navigating the maps. Did you get that? Zoom in, zoom out, select feature. All those things are just we use in identifying. We use it to what? Navigate, just to move within the maps. Are you with me now? Now, so that's all about. Now, working with feature attributes. Now, working with feature attributes is very simple. You know, we had it of our layer, right? If you right click on this layer, you see what? Can you see that? For every feature layer, you have information pertaining to that layer. Did you get my point? Now let's open the attribute table and see what that is all about. You can see it's just only one. NGA, Abuja, the capital. Did you see what I'm trying to say now? What are the attributes of Nigeria? The status is a member state. The capital is what? Abuja. The territory ID is what? 179. What is the terrestrial name? Nigeria. What is the color code? NG. What is the shape length, the area, and did you get what I'm trying to say now? The shape area is what? 75 points, whatever. This is maybe square kilometer or square mile. I don't know. Did you get my point, sir? So these are the attributes pertaining to what? Nigeria. So if you have more attributes, you can add up maybe population. Did you get my point, sir? So now working with feature attributes, that is number one. I don't want to go much more into that for now, but you can see if you click on this, you notice that your Nigerian will be selected. Did you see that? Nigerian is selected. Did you see that? Once I click on this, Nigerian is selected, right? So you're working with what? Your attributes. Now, click on selection and clear what? Selected features. It's gone. Close the attribute table for this. The attribute table for Nigeria is not the same thing as attribute table for states. It's not the same thing for attribute table for local governments. So every feature layer is an attribute. Your attribute is just like an Excel file. You get my point? Arranged in what? Rows and columns. I'll show you the one for states now. Open the attribute table for states, right click on states. You can see that. We have 37 states. It has been updated, no more 36. Did you get that now? Now, if you click on this, you see, this is what? Abia. That is a record. Your record corresponds to what? Rows. Your attribute corresponds to what? Columns. Did you get that?
These attributes show the zone, like maybe API is 31.
No, you really want to write that. We are just working with it. I have not taught you how to like develop your own attribute table yet. You can create all these things on your own, but this is we downloaded this, so they have done the population already, populating the database. They have done that. But I'm just trying to show you that this is what attribute table is all about. It's just like introduction. We are still going there that you yourself, you will build up a feature layer, creating shapefile. You will add up your own attributes. Whatever you have pertaining to that thing, you're going to add it up. Did you get that now? But you are still working with it just to familiarize yourself with what attribute table is all about. Are you together? Now, that is Abia. Once you click on Abia, you can see it's highlighted on the map, right? This is where Abia is located. Did you see that? Now, let's click on Bono, double click on Bono. You can see it's here. If you double click on it, it will take you to where it's located. Kano. Did you see that? Did you see that? Your attribute corresponds to your columns. The admin name is an attribute, right? The admin code is an attribute. The shape length, maybe the capital of that state also. Do you get my point? But we don't have it here. How good? Yes. We don't have it here. Are you with me now? Yes. You can see this is just like an Excel file. Did you get that? Yes. So you double click on those things. I'm just teaching how you can work with your attribute table. You're not creating yet. Did you get my point? You are still going to create your own, but you are working with this. Now let's double click on Lagos and let's see. You can see the Lagos where it's located. This is the loan for Lagos. So that's the Lagos, Ogun State. Did you see? This is Ogun State. Did you see that? So that's it. Now, that is the attributes for that particular layer. Did you get my point now? So, I believe you all know what attribute is all about. Now, selecting features. We did that the other time. Selecting what? Features. Selecting each what? States. Good morning. Good morning. You're on. All right. Selecting what? Each what? State. We've done that. Selecting what? Features. We did that now. When we are selecting Bono, it zooms us to what? To that area. Selecting feature is like this. It's within our what? Attributes. You are selecting within your what? Attribute table. So now, let's double click on the Kaduna. Did you see that? We've selected what? Kaduna out of the what? Entire state. You can see it's selected. In where? In Nigeria. Did you get that? So it's very simple. Where's your state, sir? Delta. Now, this is your state. Oh, my phone. My system is low. Sorry. It should pop up now. Thank you. Now, your state is Delta, right? Delta is number 9 here, right? Double click on it. So this is your state. This is the boundary for your state. Did you see that now? So you can prepare a map for your state. Yes, you can. What's the state, sir? Oshun. This is Oshun here. This is the Oshun state. Did you see that? Did you see that now? Now, who can tell me another one? Where's the state? Kogi state. Kogi, yeah, this is Kogi. Click on it. Did you see that? This is Kogi state. Yours is Oyo state, right? This is Oyo state. Did you see Oyo? Did you see that now? So you can see how big all these states are compared to another. Did you get what I'm trying to say now? So it's very simple. What's your own state, sir? Ocean, okay, I did that already. So did you get what I'm trying to say now? So that's how to select what? A feature. Now, work with attribute table. Did you see the difference now? Feature attributes. Now, work with what? Attribute table. So you want to work on that attribute table now. How do you now do that? Now, this is our attributes, right? This is our attribute table. This, everything you see here are the feature attributes. Every information you see here is your feature what? Attributes. Everything altogether is what? Attributes table. Just like an Excel. You know, an Excel is a table. It's a table 1, table 2, blah blah blah. Workbook, whatever. Did you get my point now? It's in form of a table, rows and column. You can see something similar to this. Where we have our headings, serial number, you have it in your Excel too. Where you have your serial number 1, 2, 3, blah 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 on your left column, and then you have the Excel workbook to any particular length of your choice. I don't know whether I get what I'm trying to say. Did you get that? Now, how do I work with my attribute table here? Let's assume that let's assume that I want to give the population for each state. I want to give the population for what? Each state in the population for each state in Nigeria. Did you get my point? I want to work on that attribute table now. What do? You are going to create a new what? Field. Your field corresponds to what? Attribute. That's a column. Record is states. For Osun State. Osun State is a record. Ogun State is a record. For each record, you have many attribute table. Did you get what I'm trying to say? You know in your Excel, you have a horizontal line and you have vertical line. You see all those vertical lines, those are your attributes. Did you get my point now? You see that the vertical lines are attributes. You see all those horizontals, those are your records. Did you get my point? The records, that is pertaining, okay, you are going to be a record. You are going to be a record. Because you're a student, right? You're going to have many attributes. What do you score in SVG 201? You write your score. Those are the attributes. What is your matric number? That is your attribute. You can see, like, you can have many attributes. Department, the faculty, the school where you belong to. So you yourself, you're a record in this school. Having what? A lot of attributes. Where you live. Did you get what I'm trying to say? That? So all these things are very simple things. Now, I want to add another attributes. Who can tell me? Am I going to add a new row or a new column? Column. This is your, don't get it confused, this is your column. This is your record. Did you get my point, sir? Now, you see, this is Abia State, right? This is Abia State, this is a record. This is Abia State, right? Now, for Abia State, you can see it having attributes 1 to be what? NG001. The HR parent NG001. Do you get my point now? Yes. The name, the country name, where it's located, the country code. Did you get what I'm trying to say now? Yes. Now let's assume that can somebody just go search? What is the population of people residing in Abia State? Did you get what I'm trying to say now? So your new attribute will now be what? Who can tell me? The heading will be what? Population or census. Or maybe 2020 census, depending on your choice. You can have many attributes. 2020, 21 census, 1991 census, 2024 census. Did you get my point? Gideon, all together. All these things are very simple. So now, you are now working what? On that attribute what? Table. So in that case, let me use Nigeria not to waste our time. Let me right click on the attribute table of Nigeria. Tell me what is the population of Nigeria. What is the population in Nigeria presently, right? In Nigeria. Did you get what I'm trying to say? All these things are very simple. You just need to know what is what. 2022. So that is 2022 population is what?
218.5 million.
That is 2 million, right? 200 million. 280 million plus. Good. Now, how do you now add the attributes? Good morning, sir. Now, you click on the table option. You add what? Field. Remember, I told you your field is what? Like a column. In your Excel, we have different field A, field B, field C, field D, and if you get to Z, A, B, like that. That is field. Did you get my point? We have records. Your record is the rows. Row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, till you get to any number. You know, it's infinity. Did you get my point, sir? Now, the same thing applies here. You want to add the population data for a particular country. You know the other time we have a lot of states, right? That's why I asked you, if you want to add a population field, is it a row or a column? And you got it right. You said a column. It has to be a column, not a row. Because let's say we have another state. It won't be column. It will be what? A row. Did you get what I'm trying to say now? Now, what will be the name now? The name will be your heading, which is what? Is that census or population? For year. What year? Which year is that? 2022 population, POP. Did you get what I'm trying to say? Now, what will be my data type? You did this in computer. You have not done it. Oh, you still do that. Maybe part 2 or part 3. CSC. Part 2, yeah. You do CSC. 201. You're going to talk about all these things. Entity relationship diagram. ERD. So all these things are applicable in GIS. Once you know it, your GIS is very sweet because you deal with databases here also. You're going to deal with the database management system, databases and everything. So now your own is now to relate, you know, it's computer science, right? Your own is now to bring that knowledge down to geospatial. Did you get my point, sir? Yes. Now, the name is what? 2022 population, right? The data type will be what? Who can tell me? It can be integer. Yeah, you're right. It can, but we have short and long integers. It will be long. Did you get my point, sir? But let's assume that the type of information I want to put in is maybe 2 million, like MILLON. Who can tell me what the data type will be? It will be text, or double. You're right. Double means what? Numbers or what? Or text. Did you get my point? So you need to understand all these data type. Let's assume that it is a particular date. Let's assume that this row is you. You know, I can have the name to be date of birth. So your data type will be what? Date. You can see it there. Your data type will be what? Date. Did you get my point, sir? So that's how to work creating a new field. So that is working with what? Working with what? Attribute what? Table. So you can see you are working on that attribute table now. Did you get that now? So now let's take long integer because we want to type the number in full. Did you get my point, sir? So now click OK. You see, blah 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 is valid because blah blah blah. So it's gonna underscore this as this. So we're gonna have a new. You can see that we have a new field now. Yeah. This is it. Did you see that now? Now I want to insert the value. I'm double clicking, but it's not working. Did you get my point, sir? You have to edit. And how do you edit? There's a tool box for that. You remember we have the menu bar, the toolbox, the toolbar, the table of content and everything. So your toolbar has all those tools that allows you to perform all these things. Did you get my point, sir? So you can either draw, you can draw polygon line, anything of your choice, like graphics. Did you get my point, sir? But majorly is for geospatial. You get my point, sir? Now, I want to edit this. How do you edit? There's a particular tool called editor. It should be ringing in your brain because for everything you want to edit in your Arcmap, you need that particular tool. It's called what? Editor. At first, on your Arcmap, you come along with the system. It's okay. Now, on this Arcmap, you have your editor. If you want to edit anything, you need that particular tool, editor. If you're opening your Arcmap for the first time, you won't have that particular editor. You are the one to bring it in. Now, you now go to that little space where you have it. Or if it's air, you just right click. You have those information. Did you get my point? You now search for what is called what? Editor. You can see I already have it. So whatever you are using is what you're going to click out from these things. Did you get my point? I can have everything clicked, but do I need it? Did you get my point? So whatever you are of interest is what you are going to check on. And we are of interest on what? Editor. We need the editor. So you have to what? To click it. Let me uncheck it so that you can see you can see the editor. You can see that. This is it. Did you see that?
So what space do you click on?
Right click. Any available space here at this top. If you come here, you see right click. Did you see that? But if you go up here, it won't work. You see that? Just any available space here. Did you see that? Anywhere along that area. You have it there. Did you get my point? Then you check what? Editor. And then you have this. Then you what? Start editing, because I want to edit something. So now start your editor. What am I editing? Nigeria. Did you get that now? You click on what? Nigeria, and then you click on what? Okay. Notice the last time then I was trying to double click this thing. It's not working, right? Now double click it again. You see? Did you see that now? Now what is the value for the population? 218. Let me just say 8. Then the figure, right? 00000. Right?
Yes.
Good. Once you are done populating this Nigerian with the population data, you need to save. There's a difference between saving your drawing and saving your edit. For every edit you do, you must save it. If you don't save that edit, it's gone. Let's assume that you've typed the entire population for each state and you didn't save the edits. You start all over. It's different from you like pressing your Ctrl S on your keyboard. You just go back to that editor, you will see that particular save. Did you get my point, sir? I want to show you something. Let me just copy this out first. I don't want to save, so you see what I'm trying to say. Now, let me say stop. It's going to ask you, do you still want to save? Let me say no, I'm not saving. You see what is going to happen? Did you see that? I'm back to square one. Did you get the difference now?
Yes.
Now, so you just now click on that start editor again. Click on Nigeria, that's what I'm editing, right?
Yes.
If you're editing the states, you click on what? The states. If you're editing the local government, you click what? The local government. So now, I have the value copied, so I'll just paste it. Did you get my point, sir?
Yes.
Now, if you stop, it asks you, do you want to save your edits? Even though you're not saving directly. If you save first and you stop, it won't ask this. You can see that now. So even though if you're trying to stop, it's going to confirm that. Are you trying to save this, what you've done, are you trying to save it? If you say yes, then good. If you say no, you start all over. So now, in this case now, I want to save it. So yes, you can see that it's populated. So if you double click on this, like many times, you won't have it edited. Because you've not started your editor. You're editing. Did you get that?
Yes.
So that's the population for Nigeria. I'll go now. So that is, you can see we just work with what? An attribute table. We've worked with an attribute table. All together now. And then the last one I have here is what? Labeling what? The features. Now, let's label our features. Labeling the features now. This is the entire country, right? This is our country. Now, for each feature layer, we have its own attributes. The attributes for Nigeria is different from the attribute for the states, and it's different from the attribute of the local governments. Do you get my point, sir? Now, if you right click on this Nigeria, check the attribute table. You can see the attribute table for it, right? Click on states, check the attribute table for states. You can see it's different. We have 37 states. Now check for the one for local governments. You can see we have 773. Did you get my point now? But when I was in primary school, we had 774. 74. But we don't know what happened. Everything Nigeria changes every day. You get that? So did you get what I'm trying to say now? And if you check the tab here, you can see those feature layer, right? You can see the Nigerian, the states, and the local governments. Did you get my point now? It's because I opened everything without closing on this. It's on the video. I'm doing a video recording, so you can just check it overview. So now, I want to label, right? How do you label? Double click on this Nigeria. I told you is how you double click or what? You go to the properties. Are we together? If you double click on Nigeria, go to what? Labels. You see label tab. Did you see that?
Yeah.
You see the label tabs. The first thing you do here is to check the label features in this layer. Check this. If you don't check this thing, it won't work. Now, if you check this, it will not ask you which corresponding field are you trying to label your feature layer with. You know we have different field. That is your column. Did you get my point, sir? Now, with which label field are you trying to label this feature layer? All together. Now you check this. You can see every columns is added up here. That's your field. The headings, the attributes. You can see the 2022 population we added the other time. You can see this. So which one do you want to label with? Let's say Terra 1, Terra name. You get my point? Let's say the Terra name. Click OK. What do you notice? Did you see that? It's labeled. Did you see that? It's labeled at the center. Let me uncheck. I told you how to uncheck. When I say toggle on, toggle off your layer, you know what to do. You just uncheck this, uncheck this. When I say remove your layer, right click, remove. Did you get my point? There's a difference between on and off layer. Remove your layer. When I say on and off, just toggle this, check this up, check this. Did you get my point, sir? So this is your state, this is the local government. Did you get my point? You can see Nigeria is labeled. I don't know where to get this. Now, I don't want to label Nigeria. Right? I don't want to. I can uncheck this. Now uncheck that and apply and see what I'm trying to say. You see, it's gone. But if I check this, you can see this thing is very important. And apply. You see it's back. Did you get that? So, now, uncheck this. I'm not after that. Now, double click on the states. Label, right?
Yeah.
Now, check this. And then admin 1 name. And apply. Let's see. Do you know, the reason why is that nothing is displaying, right? Because I don't have it on. Did you get it? So now put this on and see. Did you see that? You have all the states what? Labeled. Did you get what I'm trying to say now?
Yes.
Now, you can see your state, Kogi, Oshun, Delta State. You can see everything. Yes. Everything is labeled. So we've labeled all the states in the country. So that's how to label. Now, let's label the local government also. And let's see. Click on the label tab. Check this. And then admin 2 name. Remember, admin 0 corresponds to what? Nigeria. Admin 1 corresponds to what? The states. Admin 2 corresponds to what? Local governments. Admin 3 corresponds to what? The wards. But we don't always have that. It's very, like, the issue is that the word, like the word for political words. But there's a problem with that, so we don't always classify it as a recognized boundary because there are all these fights and whatever. Did you get my point? All these conflicts, real world conflicts. Hey, your land is not up to here, the word is not up to there. Did you get my point? But the recognized 3-1 is federal, state, and the local. Did you get my point? Now, admin 2 corresponds to the name, right? Now click OK, and let's see. It's not active because I didn't check the layer on, right? Let me check it on, and then you see that these are all the wards in. These are all the local governments in Nigeria. Did you see that? You can see Ife East, you can see Ife Central, Ife North, Ife South, Ile Oluchi, Okeogbo, Ekiti, Ife Ila, Ife Dayo. Where's the state, sir? We're in Oshun. Ife Central. You can see, yeah, I just showed Ife Central. Where's yours? In Oshun. Ayedire, it should be there. Yeah, you see that? See, you can prepare a map for your Ayedire. You can see the boundary now. Where is your is in Oyo? Where is your in Oyo? This is a Sheyin. This is your Shaki West. Did you see that? Yeah. What about yours in Kogi? Kabab. Let me on the states. I want to see something. Kogi states. Sorry, I need to check something. Kogi, this is Kogi. What do you call it? Kaba. Okay, let me try to perform a query formulation. I was still going to teach you this, but not now. Kaba, right? Okay, BP, okay. KA BBA visits Bunu visits. This is an advanced method. I don't want to go there now. This is all called query formulation, but I don't want to go there now. You'll still get there. Did you get my point, sir? Yeah. But it's too much, so I couldn't locate it. That was the reason why I performed the query formulation, just to ask a question. Where is so place? So to bring it up. You can see the beauty of GIS now. It's very interesting. Now, so this is everything you need to know as the introduction. So any question about that? So we all know how to label our features now. So what's the question? Oh, to download the maps. My internet is not connecting. That's the problem. My internet is not connecting. Somebody did me 2.5 gig this morning and it's still saying I don't have data. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And you're data from there. You don't stop me data. So that's all about that.